Today we'll be looking at advantages and disadvantages of having dreadlocks. So kindly subscribe for those who have dreadlocks or those who had planned to have and changed their mind. So that's good. So you can subscribe and take a screenshot, and then you in future you'll say, I remember this guy when he had 400 subscribers. Now he's at 10,000 or 100,000, maybe 1 million, maybe 1 million. And then you'll show us, and you'll be like, wow, they will be surprised, and we'll all be happy. So kindly subscribe, and thank you for those who have subscribed, and thank you for your support. Okay, let's go straight to the video. So I'm going for long dreadlocks because I have long dreadlocks, and for short dreadlocks the disadvantages are more than the advantages, but for long dreadlocks the advantages are higher. So let's go straight. So for me, I'm talking about my experience with the long dreadlocks. So for me, before I had dreadlocks and now, yes, and the present. So there is some respect, let's say, when walking in town or anywhere in the streets, there is some respect from the civilians and some from the police, but mostly the civilians. So for the civilians, they think that, having dreadlocks, it's like you are associated with some bad things. So the people with dreadlocks seems like they don't care about the police or the law, but we usually care. So for long dreadlocks in the police, it seems like you have been doing great. You haven't done any mistake or any crime for long. So because if you have done any crime, you'll be taken to jail and they'll shave you clean, like here. So if you have long dreadlocks, it means you have been very obedient to the law. You have been clear. You have not done anything wrong in the past several years. So for me, like in the past 5 years, I haven't gone to jail. I haven't done any crime, or labda hujashikwa, maybe you've been caught. But for people with dreadlocks, you usually maintain, because usually people notice you easily. So that's the second one, attention. So for me, I get a lot of attention, let's say by walking or in a place. So people usually think I'm too young to have long dreadlocks. So they look at me like, are those real? Did you add something, or what's the secret? So it's like an attention. It brings some sort of attention even when walking to the streets. So for me, I usually focus on where I'm going. So I usually notice people seeing me, but that's their own issue. That's their own. I mind my own business. That's their own business. So I usually just pass. So for people, there is some attention you get. So, but recently I wanted to dye my hair white. But I thought about the attention. I'm not a fan of attention, but that will have. Imagine with this, and already you are getting attention. So imagine dyeing them white or a shouting color. It's double the attention you want. And I was not sick. I wanted to dye because of YouTube. I wanted to show how white dreadlocks will look. But as you can see in Game of Thrones, not in this movie in Wakanda Forever, the woman had white dreadlocks, and in House of Dragons there was a family that had white dreadlocks. Yes, it looks cool. One day, if this video, you can suggest and send a comment saying we dye or which color you want. I have a friend who has recently dyed the hair blue. Her dreadlocks. Go and visit. It's Lavinia. It's in YouTube. Yes, she has dyed her dreadlocks. Yeah, she's my friend. Her dreadlocks are now blue. They look very nice. So I wanted to dye mine white. Okay, let's go for the third advantage. So the third advantage, as I said, because it attracts attention. Let's say you are in an office with someone. Most people start the conversation asking you. So it's a conversation, start asking you how long you have stayed with the dreadlock. It's easier for ladies. They usually want to know, why they are long. So I usually tell them, because when you comb your hair, you usually lose your hair. If you look at the comb, you usually lose your hair. For dreadlock, there's no combing, and you only twist when it's retouching. So you only twist. So even if the hair dies or ikikatika, it's usually part of the long hair. So even if the hair cuts, it's part of the hair, so there's no losing hair. So the hair usually grows faster because you are not losing any of your hair. Yes, that's another one. Lafu. So for another point is less disturbance on the street. So before I usually when, let's say, matatu people wanakuja wanakuvuruta saying you are going down or you are going where you are going. So for me, before they had to come and grab you, they want you to go to their bus or their matatu inaitwaje kwa Kizungu, sijui, their matatu. So they usually grab you and force you, but for me with dreadlocks there's no grabbing. So they come wananigotea, wananiambia vipi mras, unaishia. So I usually say yes or no. Yani there's no much conversation, there's no being thrown right to left, being grabbed by different people trying to go to their matatu. So there is some respect. I don't know if that's the point. Yes, it is for dreadlocks. If you have long dreadlocks, so there is not much people with long dreadlocks. So it's easy for people to remember you. It's easy for people to recognize you. I know my friends usually laugh at me because I usually tell people, you remember me, the dreadlocks. So yes, so it's easy for someone to remember you with having dreadlocks because not many people have dreadlocks, long dreadlocks. So it's easier for people to remember you. And in general, it makes you more, if you are a woman, it makes you more beautiful. If you are a man, you become more handsome. Yes, sometimes people say, you are black, you can't, the dreadlocks will make you look like a gangster. But long dreadlocks, it makes you look more attractive. Long hair in general, anybody with long hair, they become more attractive than short hair. So for long dreadlocks, you become more attractive and more approachable compared to short dreadlocks, which will like so let's go to the disadvantages. So disadvantages, number one, everybody calls you Rastaman. So even if you're walking in town, unasikia, hey Ras, so you don't know if there is another Rasta person or you, so you have to look. If you don't look, it will be disrespectful. So you have to look if you're the Rastaman or not. So you should, to ensure you're not the disrespectful. Yes, and then the other thing is everybody thinks you smoke bang. For me, I've never smoked bang, but I know the smell of bang. I've never smoked bang, even one puff I've never. So, but everybody who sees me with Rasta know I smoke. No, I have been in contact. Maybe now or in the future, I've been in contact, or in the past, I've been in contact with bang, which it's not always the case. For me, I've never smoked bang. So yes, because I stay in the lawn, I don't want to lose my hair. And then the other one is, yes, so even if you go to parties or house parties and there is bang and you refuse, you say no, I'm not a smoker, it becomes getting weird. So imagine a Rasta person telling you he has never smoked bang. I mean, it sounds like a lie or awkward or weird. So it's usually not comfortable. Yes. Also, they think you sell. You either use it's either you're using or you're selling. So they think you're selling or you have a lighter most of the time. Even if I go to the beach, sometimes kuya kunzea vipi mras uko na lighter hapo, namwambia azizi sina. So they think you have bang 24/7. And then some think you speak Jamaican, ile sijui bombo clat sijui vitu gani. Mimi mwenyewe hata siongei vitu kama hizo nini. Yes, so watu ndani wanaongea ile Kijamaika. Sasa sijui kujueni marasi lazima uko unajua hizo ni vitu za ujika tu. Hiyo ni part of it. So another issue is getting and people when for my hair usually turns brown. My hair is not very dark, so if sometimes, let's say, jua ikipiga yani inaonekana brown, so people think it's dirty. The hair is dirty, even though it's clean, but people think your hair is not clean. And if it's clean, sometimes people see it dirty, or people don't like to shower. Very funny. So, and then most people with long dreadlocks are self-employed because employment is difficult to get. If you have dreadlocks, they think you either in crime, in other things. But for nowadays, it's easier because people are hired because of their skills, not because of how they look. So if you have great skills and what you do, you should know how to code. If I know how to code, I am coding for a company. They'll not look at me, I'm doing a great job, that's it. No. If I'm doing sales, and this is different. If, not like where you used to be judged because of hair. This is yani they used to judge you, and najua unaelewa hata wazazi they used to but even having friends even like for me, if I, let's say, visit a friend, mostly parents, for my age mates, it's okay, good. They usually, because they usually want dreadlocks, but they don't, because some their parents are very harsh. If you go with them to their home, they think umeleta mwizi sijui nini, unataka TV yetu ipote. TV because already wako na TV tu ile alafu asema tiba. Sasa utaibaje? Kwa TV sijui kama 20 kg. 20 kg utabeba uende. Hata utauza wapi? Lakini wazazi mnafahamu kwa realistic ati itaiba. Mimi nitaiba TV napeleka wapi? TV ya watako. Peleka wapi? TV yenyewe mimi nikiwatch TV kama naumwa na macho. Sikubali, lakini kweli. Alafu another last point for me is they sometimes before nikuwe na ndevu, sijui kama mnaona sina ndevu, before sahi niko at least ni vile sahi lighting yangu sipoa, ama labda kamera ioneshe, lakini walikuwa wanani confuse na dem. Saa ile nikifunga dread hivi, nikizifunga hivi, ile ponytail sawa, walikuwa ndani mimi ni manzi kwa sema sijui na angle ama nini, so walikuwa na ndani mimi ni dem. Saa zingine wanani confuse, so with my friends they laugh at me. Somebody confuses me for a lady, they usually laugh very much and they insult me the whole week or tell everybody kwanza pita we pinches pia nanichagua kila saa. So kindly subscribe. Thank you for your support, and remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Nitaambia subscribe. Asante.